annoyed, confused, fearful. Do any of these feelings feel familiar when you think about writing cover letters for your job applications? It's because when it comes to writing cover letters, you don't know if you're doing things right and investing your time wisely or making mistakes that cause your cover letter to be of no service or even a disservice to you. In today's video, I'll be covering some of the biggest cover letter mistakes that you want to avoid in order to get an interview, as well as I'll be telling you how to access my free cover letter guide and checklist. I'm Kamara, Toffolo, resume writer, LinkedIn consultant, job search strategist, and LinkedIn top voice who helps established professionals dare to do work differently and land great fitting gigs. I post new job search videos every week, and my videos will equip you with some of the most valuable information to make your job search easier, because job searching shouldn't be this hard. You may have heard that the cover letter is dead, or that cover letters aren't read. I've heard far too many reports from my clients alone that recruiters and hiring managers are reading their cover letters, and their cover letters are what actually got them noticed. That's why I encourage job seekers to submit a customized cover letter with every single job application. When it comes to your job search, you can only control what you can control. And what is within your control is submitting a well-written resume and cover letter. But when you think of cover letters, you really shouldn't be thinking, I'd rather get my whole body waxed at once than write a cover letter. Cover letters should not be painful, nor should they be a pain in the butt. Knowing the biggest mistakes to avoid in cover letter writing will take the process from feeling painful to purposeful. This brings us to the first of our biggest cover letter mistakes that we want to avoid if we want to get an interview. And that mistake is you didn't submit a cover letter. As mentioned, I do recommend submitting a customized cover letter with every single job application. The only time we wouldn't is if the job posting specifically says, do not submit a cover letter. At worst, cover letters don't get read, but instead they serve as insurance. They're there in case the recruiter, talent acquisition professional, or hiring manager wants to read it. Also at worst, your cover letter serves as interview prep. At best, your cover letter is read and considered in your overall candidacy. The next big cover letter mistake that I commonly see is submitting either a generic cover letter for your job application or submitting the same cover letter for every job application. Well, you don't need to reinvent the wheel with every cover letter, and you can use a similar structure and approach for writing each cover letter. You need to make sure that your cover letter does include some elements of customization. We want to avoid phrases like, I saw the software engineer job posted on Indeed, and I am so excited to apply. I'm confident that I am the ideal candidate for this role. Instead, consider including tailored tidbits like why specifically you're applying for the job in question, why specifically you're applying to that employer, and what can you specifically help that employer with in that role. Customization on cover letters is important because it shows that you really care, that you've done your homework, and that you are truly interested in applying to the job to which you're applying and not just treating your job search like a numbers game. I provide many more ideas for how to customize your cover letters in my free cover letter guide and checklist, and I'll provide more details for how to download it at the end of this video. I get it. Cover letters can often feel like just another thing that we have to do in our job search. So in our haste to check the cover letter box, we might actually forget that it's a document that we actually want the reader to read. So in order to encourage actual reading, we need to make sure that our cover letter is easy to read. But difficult to read cover letters are something that I see quite frequently, and this is the third biggest cover letter mistake that we want to avoid. So what makes a cover letter hard to read? Using really thick paragraphs without any breaks or bullets to give the reader a bit of a break, writing a cover letter that exceeds one page, and bouncing around in your cover letter and not following a logical structure of having an introduction, body, and close. We want to make sure that the information we're providing in our cover letter is well presented and easy to digest for the reader. We don't want to create any extra work for them. One of the most confusing aspects of cover letter writing that I hear from job seekers is whether or not your cover letter should repeat your resume. Including some resume highlights on your cover letter is okay, so long as they are reinforcing required or desired strengths and skills noted in the job posting. But the mistake that I often see made, and this is our biggest mistake number 4, is that it appears that your resume may have barfed all over your cover letter. The point of writing cover letters is not to regurgitate everything that is contained in your resume, but instead highlighting parts of your story that maybe your resume wasn't able to. Things like calling out and alleviating any major concerns or red flags that the hiring professional might encounter when they're reading your career history. Perhaps details on why you might be making a career transition and what you can bring to the table that's particularly unique. And you could also include a few very select, and I mean the best of your best accomplishments from your resume in order to reinforce those required and desired strengths and skills noted in the job posting. I provide more guidance on this in my cover letter guide and checklist. While a cover letter is not a replacement for your resume, it is something that can complement it and complement it well. Don't forget that in your job search, you can only control what you can control. This includes submitting a standout resume and a compelling cover letter. Whether your documents are read or not is not something that you need to worry yourself about. Instead, rest easy knowing that you invested the time, effort, and energy into creating a full, complete, and well-composed job application package. And here's my cue for you. Do you start from scratch with all of your cover letters? Or do you sometimes decide against submitting cover letters altogether? Did this video maybe change your mind? Tell me everything in the comments below. And now what you've all been waiting for, how to get my free cover letter guide and checklist. I've linked the download link in the description below. Just head over to my website, sign up, and get your copy. In addition to my free cover letter guide and checklist, I also can offer you my free post-interview thank you messages guide and templates, also on my website and linked in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, please do give it a like. It helps me help more people. And if you want to see more of this face in your feed, click on that face over there to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.